What's good in the hoodie, y'all? It's me, Cheyenne. Today I'm back with another video. And in today's video, I am doing another movie review. This one's actually a more recent one. It's called Late Night with the Devil 2014. So it came out earlier this year. I watched it. I enjoyed this movie so much. So yeah, I'm going to be talking to you guys about that. If you don't know what Late Night with the Devil is, Late Night with the Devil 2014 is a supernatural horror movie that has twists and turns, and it's going to like turn your mind, have you thinking, what's reality, what's not, trying to decipher what's real, you feel me? So it's a pretty interesting movie. So if you haven't watched it, I recommend watching it. And first, we're going to get into the summary, and then I'm going to get into my review of it. So yeah, without further ado, let's get straight to it. Late Night with the Devil starts with a man named Jack Delroy, who is a host of a popular talk show in, I want to say it takes place in the 1980s or 1970s, possibly, I don't know. One of those times. His wife ended up having cancer and passes away after she appeared on the show. And it was like the most popularized episode on that show, the most views. After her appearance, that's when the downfall of the show began to start. And then Jack starts to pull anything necessary in order to get the views back up. During the showing of the last episode, he pulls all stops needed. He invites people who can talk to spirits onto his show and try to scare and excite the audience, right? First man he pulls up is named Cristal. I think that's how you pronounce it, Cristal. And he's like this guy who, to me, was like a more magician type, but he was saying like, be like, oh, someone in the audience name is Peter, Peter in the audience, and he'd be like, oh, you just suffered a great loss, like something vague or something, like that. Or and then he pulled out like another person and ended up being like, oh, you just lost this loved one, whatever the case may be, right? So it was things like that that he was like pulling or whatever. During the end, he ended up practically bombing out his own insides. Everyone thought that this was part of his act, so nobody really was concerned. It was a shock, obviously, but nobody at first really thought too much. They just brought him to the hospital. Hospital way, he did end up passing away though, because he was vomiting out his own insides. But during Crystal's act, Carmichael Hunt was invited onto the show. He was brought onto the show to try to, I want to say, call out BS. That's what he was brought. He was brought onto the show to call out Cristal or anybody else who came on the show BS, to just be like, yeah, you're lying. You're pulling this, that, and the third, and you're not actually connected with spirits. You're not actually pulling this, that, and the third, right? When he was invited, he tried to expose con artists, and then he was also a con artist himself, so that's why he kind of knew. So then we move on to our last guest of the day, right? Her name is Lily D. Abu, I'm pretty sure. Correct me if I'm wrong, if I'm pronouncing it, but we're just gonna call her Lily, right? So Lily is about 12 or 13 at the time of this, but she has been connected to spirits because she was a part of a cult since birth to the age of 8. At the age of 8, she was rescued, but she still had this connection to spirits through this cult. As a caregiver by the name of June, who fancies Jack. They have I think they have some type of relationship going on, whatever the case may be. It wasn't going on when he had his wife, but yeah, they kind of got close when his wife did pass away. Lily takes the stage. She is immediately off. It's obviously something that you can see is wrong with her, because she's so on this unsettling vibe. She's staring into the camera, and then she's speaking this like, not necessarily robotic voice, but it's almost like she's being hypnotized to say what she's saying on camera, right? After her opening, at which June puts her in a trance, while in this trance, she starts speaking a demonic voice. She begins saying things that she really would not have known. For example, she talks about Jack Delroy and his wife, and she ends up bringing like bringing up things that she just would not have access to, right? She also speaks on Jack and June's relationship, which is another thing that she really kind of wouldn't have known too much information on. Talks the whole audience, and eventually she's brought back from her trance, which she cannot really remember. She can't really remember what just happened, what was said, and none of this words. Carmichael Hunt begins to bring out the lies. He does this by putting one of the producers in a trance, making him believe that there are worms crawling underneath his skin. Make the producer truly believe that there's worms up his skin, but he also fools the audience in the set and also audience members at home. Some of them don't get put under that trance, while some do, where they literally see him ripping off his own skin and worms coming out. He calls out June and Lily for doing the same trance, and that's how he basically was like, okay, that's how you pulled it off. You just put everybody in this trance, right? So Lily begins to be put under a trance. She wants to prove to Carmichael that what she has going on is real. Then it's kind of taken too far and out of control too fast. The body is now consumed by the devil, in which he begins killing off audience and staff members. And audience, staff members, anyone nearby, he just starts killing everybody, right? Even including June and Carmichael. When Jack was trying to kill the devil, he ended up getting put into a hypnotic state. Now, this whole part right here can be theorized. I'm gonna get into my theory later in my review, but this whole part right here, you could kind of just try to decipher on your own what really happened. He gets put into a hypnotic state in which he begins to kind of go through moments of his life, specifically moments with his wife, to try to decipher what's really happened in the past versus just figments of his imagination. You end up seeing him talking to his wife, and she talks to him, having full conversations of dealing with the grief of his wife. By the end, he's awoken from his trance. But this last moment, right before he was awoken, his wife begged him to kill her because she didn't want to keep suffering, in which he did. Now, when he did that, he's awoken from his trance, and you can see that he stabbed Lily. The co-workers and staff around him are dead. Then we hear sirens of the police nearing by the building. The audience is clear, and we're left to interpret the meaning of what really happened. So my review, first, to start off, I really enjoyed this movie, period. This movie was so good. I love the, like, I don't know necessarily if it's called period pieces, but it's like you rarely see horror period pieces, and if you do, it's like a vampire, right? I like period pieces of horror that's something like the 80s, something closer, not necessarily 1600s. And I seen this, I just thought it was an amazing concept. First of all, the whole part when they kept going backstage, and then it would turn to black and white, and it would show like different cameras in just one frame. Amazing. I don't know what that necessarily styling is called, but whoever chose to do that, whoever made that happen, yes, you did your big twos, right? Next is the premise of the movie. I personally do not like supernatural movies. If you know me, if you even see me on Twitter, I say, like, I do not like supernatural movies, supernatural horror movies. And I mean supernatural in the sense of like, oh, not like people having powers is one thing, that's cool, but I don't like things when it's like, oh, it's ghosts, it's the devil, it's demons, and this, that, and the third. Like, I don't know, to me, it just annoys me. I don't know, it's just not that scary, but this definitely did it for me. This right here did it for me. Now, it wasn't really scary in a sense, but it did keep me engaged the whole entire film. It did have a few parts that was just shocking and unsettling, which I'm here for, right? I would say that the only critique that I had that would have made this so much better, and I didn't even notice this until somebody else pointed this out, is that if the girl herself or even some of the cast members had that, like, have you ever watched like an old true crime documentary where they're interviewing a killer or like a serial killer, and they have like this certain tone of voice? They have this like old, I don't know if it's described as old Hollywood, or it's like, I don't know the way to describe it. If I'm able to put a clip in here, I'll put a clip in here.
You as a child contributes to how you turn out as an adult. To be honest, it made me a better person because I know all the mistakes. I know what not to do to my kids. I know what to avoid.
But yeah, that voice is, I'm sorry, that would make, that would 8, that would 2. And it's specifically when you old, like I want to say 1990s or 1980s true crime interviews. That, oh yeah, that would have cleared it. That would have cleared it, right? Now for the ending and what I think about the ending, right? Now, there's 2 ways you can I mean, there's multiple ways you can kind of interpret it. Now, first, obviously, straightforward. You know, old girl gets possessed by the devil. Jack Darrow ends up being put into a hypnotic state, and she kills everyone. And then while he's in the state, he ends up killing her, getting away, basically killing her and then being able to survive this catastrophe, right? You could just interpret it that way, right? The way I viewed it, and I guess that's just me trying to theorize, is that Jack Delaware was on a downward spiral himself. He was kind of going through his own type of emotions or whatever. And he was grieving for his wife so much. And keep this in mind, old girl Lily, she was saying so much about his wife. She was literally mimicking her voice and everything, kind of making him shock and whatever, right? So to me, something could have triggered him to kill June, to kill Carmichael. Like he killed all of them on like the immediate set, and then everybody else kind of just ran away, right? Everybody else didn't, just ran away, ran out, whatever the case may be. But he was the killer himself. Now, obviously, I could be wrong about that. That could be completely wrong, and that's fine. But that's just, my little theory, me trying to theorize on this. Only because, like, then you would have to ask questions like, okay, why didn't nobody else stop him? Or why didn't other people do this? Why didn't other people just jump in? Or whatever the case may be. But we don't know, right? I honestly, if I see a guy with a knife and then he's running, just killing people, I'm running away. That's just me. I'm keeping it right. But everyone has their twos. Overall, yeah. This is how you make a movie. This is how you make a movie. Literally, if they had the actor do that like uncanny type of old Hollywood voice, oh yeah. Oh yeah. I'm sorry, this would have been the best film of 2024, like already, like yeah, it's super good, and I would recommend anyone to watch it if you haven't watched it. I hope you guys did enjoy this film review. I hope you guys do tune into the movie. I think right now they're still showing in theaters. I don't know where you can watch it from. I'm gonna keep the bug. But look it up, you could probably watch on like Paramount or something like that. So yeah, that'll be it for today's video. I hope you guys did enjoy it. Don't forget to follow me on all my social medias. I really rarely ever promote it, but go follow me on all my social medias. It's at the end of this video, but it's also linked down below in the description. If you guys just want to click the link and it's going to take y'all immediately, just do that. Go follow me on go subscribe to my second channel if you want to see some reactions, or even just recommend me to react to other stuff. I want to start reacting to trailers in there. That'll be dope. On my second channel, I post every 4 days, and in between that, I post shorts. So you're going to see me a lot on that channel if you go and tune in. And yeah, that'll be for today's video. If you guys did enjoy, don't forget to hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe, and don't forget to comment down below. And yeah, see ya.